All right, welcome back. Let's chop it up. Let's chop it up. Hope all is well with everybody. Wait for people to come into the chat. Make sure, let me check this volume and make sure you guys can hear me. Should be in there in a second. Got it. Cool, got it. Yes, sir. All right, man. Hey, Abdullah bin Bobby Yatabi, what's going on, man? How you doing? Macadon 1 in the building. What's going on? Land of the 216, always good to see you, sir. Richard Butler said, well done for being first take off yesterday. Well, dog, for being first take yesterday off. What? How am I going to take yesterday off, man? But what's good, Richard Butler? Richard Butcher. Miami Snoopy, what's going on, man? Nathan Stanley said it'd be crazy if all the fighters bypass Tyson Fury to try to fight Deontay Wilder, and then when somebody asks why they're not fighting, Fury will respond, the titles are tainted. Yeah, that'd be great, but ain't nobody gonna do that, man. They'll fight, man. Deontay Wilder knocking people's heads off, man. That's why they had to cheat. You know, that's why they had to cheat, and that's why boxing is just looking so exposed. It's just naked for the world to see because Tyson Fury went too far. Like, dude, you're in the United States, man, with cameras all over you, man. You think you can, how many different ways you going to try to cheat at the same time, man? And be like, well, one of them got to work. One of them got to work because they weren't leaving under chance. And now he's busted. And Vinny Pazienza, what you going to say? Vinny Pazienza's a racist? What's the excuse for Vinny Pazienza? And what's the excuse for Al Bernstein? Dog, a former world champion, Vinny Pazienza, who has a history with performance-enhancing drugs, said that Tyson Fury was on HGH for that fight. And Al Bernstein just acted like it was just something stupid to say. With his red tip, with his nose as red as a cherry from that whiskey or whatever he was drinking. He was sitting there happy. What? Ha ha. What makes you think that? Oh, come on. As if Tyson Fury has not already tested positive for performance-enhancing drugs. Just like, you know, come on now. Like, come on now. You can't feign confusion here, man. You know this dude is on dope. You know all these dudes are on dope. But you guys are all right with the dope. You're all right with the dope because the dope keeps you in the game. They get rid of all that dope, Tyson Fury would be Mark. What's that dude's name? Price. What's that guy's name from the UK? David Price. His ass would be David fucking Price. That's what Tyson Fury is. David Price that cheats. He's David Price on HGH. HGH and loaded gloves. I said, Quentin Pat said, yo, how man got 27 dislikes even before we start? It's called bots. Dude, the bots hit look, when you see the dislikes, they're not real. Okay, I promise you. Because they all hit at the same time. It's like clockwork. I sit there and I watch, and I'm like, okay, I have 95% likes, 95% likes, 95% likes. Then all of a sudden, in a half-hour period, all my likes drop, like boom. It drops to like 85% because just out of nowhere, 20 motherfuckers decide to all show up and dislike the video at the same damn time. Man, come on, dog. You running your little mini hit squads over here to make the numbers not look like the numbers look? Dog, people do not believe your horse shit, okay? But hey, Quentin Payton, that's how I have 7 likes before it starts, okay? That's how. They're called Eddie bot. They're called Fury bots. They come by. They're all here. The video comes. Let's thumb down. So it looks like, oh, it's not a party. You know what I mean? That type of nonsense. That's what they do, and we know that's how they do. Because that's just common sense that it would be done like that. Carson Anderson said, Fannon, I need to hear a prediction for the third fight, considering Fury won't be able to cheat, most likely, and Wilder is coming for his head. First of all,
No, my sound ain't messed up. I just got an extra sexy voice today. That's what it is. That shit sound deep in the mug, don't it? Okay, it's back to normal. It's back to normal. Hey, thanks, man. Thanks for looking out. My prediction for the third fight is that Tyson Fury is gonna not take it. No, I'm not gonna jump to the third fight because that motherfucker ain't. No, I'm not doing that. I appreciate that. Your take is weak, sucker. Here come the bots. Your take is weak, sucker. Fuck you think this is 1970 black exploitation movie or something, man? Get the fuck up out of here, man. Somebody boot Moreo. Somebody boot Moreo. We ain't trying to hear the bots, dog. The bots, dog. Dude, like they're bots for days, man. Come on, man. Don't nobody believe Tyson Fury, dude. Don't nobody believe Tyson Fury, dog. Exactly. Suck a jive turkey. You suck a jive turkey. Give me 5 on the black hand side. Y'all remember that? Remember, he used to be like, give me 5. Give me 5 on the black hand side. You smack hands like this. Give me 5 on the black hand side. Yeah, dog. Y'all some clowns, dog. Y'all some clowns, man. Y'all some clowns, okay? But let's get back on Tyson Fury cheating because that's why you wanted to ask me that question. You wanted to get my take on something other than Tyson Fury cheating. My take for the third fight is that Tyson Fury will not take it because Tyson Fury is going to run away. That's my take, like he's trying to do now. And even if they order him to fight, he's still a scumbag. So that is he'll go to UK and he won't fight. And he'll claim forever that he's the greatest ever and what a robbery it is that people, or how terrible it is that people say this and that about him. He's a fucking coward and a cheat, and he's going to stay a coward and a cheat, okay? The Vladimir Klitschko fight was over 5 years. Wasn't it 5 years ago? Dang near 5 years ago. He been a cheat for the last 5 years. He ain't going to change. And Vinny Pazienza. Oh, Vinny Pazienza said, hey, come on. You know it, dude. Did you see the look on Vinny Pazienza's face? Did you get the look at Vinny on Vinny Pazienza's face when he was answering that shit? When he was like, dude, I'm so mad. Dude, he didn't even have a problem with Tyson Fury cheating. It's so matter of fact for him. He was like, come on, man. This is boxing. Of course he's on HGH. Don't you see that big motherfucker? Ain't no goddamn way he's that motherfucking big. No, you don't put, dude, you do not lose 100 pounds in a year, dog, and then proceed to put it back on in muscle. You know what I'm saying? Like, the dude got down from 400, right, down to like 260, 270, and now he's climbing his way back up to 400, but it's going to be all pure muscle. Dog, get out of here, man. That dude is dope to the gills. And see, shout out to Blue Blood Sports TV. Okay, shout out to Blue Blood Sports TV. Excellent job several months ago when he stuck his neck out there and said, hey, there's problems with Tyson Fury's tests. There's problems with Tyson Fury's tests. And that shit just went away. Like, oh, by the way, 78 brought that up on his live stream this morning. Excellent killer live stream. If you missed it, make sure you go back and check it out on archive. Excellent work, man. Excellent. Focus Ball said Tyson Fury was born on steroids. Yep, I reported that. Yep. Yep, he got that good inside. He got that good information right there. Wasn't his father a known cheater? Look, his father may have cheated in his life, but nothing like Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury is so obviously dirty. He's so over the top dirty that, dude, he had the nerve to tell Deontay Wilder that I think I'm worried about his mental health. See, that's when your lies start just twisting together. No, dude, you're supposed to worry about your mental health. Remember, that's the lie you told Tyson, that you weren't in rehab. You were in a mental health facility, right? Like you're no longer using cocaine, even though you're bouncing around your house at your kid's birthday party like, I was like, dude, go look at Tyson Fury at his kid's birthday party and tell me that dude ain't had a little of that Tell me he ain't flying. Tell me he ain't flying high, dog. Tell me he ain't flying high. Man, much love in that super chat, Quentin Patton. He said, I still believe without the first knockdown punch in the back of Wilder's head, the bare knuckle glove Fury doesn't make it out of that ring that night. Could very well be, but he hit him with a rabbit punch. He hit him with a rabbit punch with a jacked up glove first time through. Boop, let me hit you in the back of the head with no gloves, with no padding. Fist to the back of your head. Bare fist to the back of your head. It's crazy, man. Now though, you all must bow down to the road. Who's saying that? What was bow down to the road? Was that bow down to the death row? Bow down, because that's when they had everything. They had everybody. Death Row Records was killing it. Bow down to the road. Bow down. Bow down to the truth. Okay, everybody knows it. You got, man. I saw Daniel Pena. Shout out to Daniel Pena for your video, man. I enjoyed it, man. What's going on, Terrence Chavis? Much love in that super chat. Says support for the channel. Thank you very much, man. And make sure you put your Instagram in the chat so everybody can see your daughter throwing them hands. Explain to me the glove checks before the fight. No. That was Ice Cube. Okay, yeah, there you go. I knew it was something. Bow down to something greater than you. I knew something was that. Nah, Dean Squares, I'm not going to explain to you glove checks before the fight. Why do I care about glove checks? I'll tell you, I'll explain this to you, though. Let me do a glove check. Let me do a glove check for you. Y'all don't like this. This is the type of glove check. This is the type of glove check that you guys don't like, dog. Let's do this glove check. Let's see if this glove is the same way it was yesterday. Let me check that glove. Yeah, that glove is the same way it's always been. Glove check. Let's do it. Thank you very much for that question. General Scrub said, for now, I forgot to turn off the sex voice mind. Hey, man, it was rumbling like that. But let's do that glove check. I know y'all like glove checks. Glove checks. Hey, and here's a community glove check. If you can see his fingers, let's do it. Let's do it the right way, dog. We got to do it the right way. Let's make that a little bigger. Let's actually make it the biggest. Tell me if you can you not see one big index finger and middle finger, a ring finger, and then some squished up fold right there. Let's check them gloves real quick. I know you guys like to check the gloves. You know what I mean? Glove check 1, 2. Glove check 1, 2. He said glove check. Look at the photos, you two. Glove check right there, dog. There you go. There's your glove check. Is that knuckle in that glove? Yes, there are. Those are all knuckles. If you guys have not seen it before. Yes, those are all. That's why we know he cheated. Okay, I don't think I can go. Oh, I can't. I can go in a little bit closer. See, that's why we know he cheated. Okay. Now, just in case you guys missed the beginning of it, right? Just in case you guys had missed the beginning of this conversation about gloves and his cheating ways, this picture came out, and people were trying to act as if that is photoshopped. Do you remember that when they tried to act like that is photoshopped? Now, I would like to ask any objective observer, if you do not see clearly Tyson Fury's hand in that glove, you see his hand in that glove. Walt one BK said Fury and his full team are cheaters and eventually will all come out in the open. Hope he gets banned. Walt one BK, it is already out in the open. It is already out in the open. They all know they cheated, and everybody knows they cheated, dog. Everybody knows they cheated. Dude, look at that glove, man. Look at that glove. And that is not Photoshop. But they act like, oh, it's Photoshop. It's Photoshop. It's Photoshop. They even try this trick too. Now wait for them to come up with this trick. They'll then take a picture that was in that same sequence and then act like they're the same picture. Even though the photographer took a bunch of pictures in a row. You know how that shit goes. And they can take a bunch of pictures in a row. Very nice quality. Boop, boop, boop. Because they got that high frame rate. They can go brow. Like brow. And it gets it. Well, guess what? In the middle of that brow, it caught that bullshit right there with his knuckles all in the motherfucking picture. Shutter speed. Thank you very much, Kane, the bad guy. Shutter speed. That shutter speed was like, got caught in that shutter. Boop, gotcha. Boop, gotcha. Boop, gotcha. Hand in the cookie jar. Boop, gotcha. See, but they want to act like that ain't real. They want to tell you that is normal. Dude, how many boxers are in here? Hey, if you're a boxer or if you've had boxing ring gloves on your hand, press 1. Press 1. If you've ever worn boxing gloves or had a boxing match, because I guarantee you there's going to be people in here that have had that. So we'll just do we'll ask some experts impromptu if that shit should happen in your boxing glove. Right there. 1. Oh, that's a lot of boxers around this joint. Woo-wee, that's who would have known on a boxing channel there'd be a lot of boxers. Brandon Raspberry, how hasn't anyone brought up the dipping hands in fuel like that ain't cheating? Clearly, he had no confidence in his power. How is that not cheating? That was a distraction, sir. That was a distraction to explain this shit. He's gonna say, "Oh, I can just put extra power behind it because I protected my hands. So now my knuckles won't bust." Yeah, right. Now that might be true. Your knuckles weren't bust, but that's why they dipped that shit. That's why. To toughen up his hands to do that. That's why he did it. But originally it was, oh yeah, this is one of the reasons. Just like he acted like he had a sprained ankle in a picture. All kind of bullshit that he does, dog. All kind of bullshit that he does. However, glove check over. How you like that glove check? I like that glove check. Every time I check that glove, dog, that check winds up being right there too, dog. It winds up being just like that. Boom. It's right back at it. You know what I mean? That glove check is right back as it was every time I show this picture. I still see his hand. And I still hear I hear all y'all trying to make an excuse. Now, so let's see how many ones we got. We got a fair number of ones here. Fair number of boxers in here, okay? Now, let me ask you, of the people that put 1, tell me whether, yes or no, are gloves supposed to work like that? And that's just the people that say they have experience with boxing gloves. Tell me, are they supposed to squish down all the way to your knuckles like that? You know what I mean? Like, how does that happen, dog? Oh, that's a lot of no's. No, hell no. No, fuck out of here. No. No, bro, not at all. Man, now, isn't it amazing how in our boxing channel, right, which is hardcore boxing channel, and a lot of people that are trainers and fighters, and all of them seem to see that gloves ain't supposed to do this. The gloves ain't supposed to do this. But somehow, the WBC and Andre Ward can't see that. How don't you see that, Andre? How don't you see that, man? Now, how don't you see that, Andre? Come on, everybody else. You ain't got to be a world-class boxer to know how gloves work, man. That shit is not supposed to happen, dude. Those are fingers there, man. Come on, man. Those are fingers. That's his hand. That's that man's hand. I mean, I just can't get over how you guys act like he didn't cheat. How do you stand there and say that with that picture? Dude, it's amazing. Oh my goodness. Exactly. Teddy Atlas is full of shit. They all are. They're trying to save face. And as many times as they say boxing is corrupt, When you have some shit that's right in your face like that, Teddy Atlas knows he cheated. He just, well, I can't say it because it's them. Can't let them win. We've been cheating them for years. What's new? You know what I'm saying? They're like, what's new? Dog, they've been cheating black fighters like this for a very, very long time, dog. It just so happens to be now it's profitable for people to catch them. And since it's profitable for people to catch them, oh, they're going to be all on their asses. They're going to be all on their asses because it's profitable to bust you. And Mauricio Suleiman, dog, the Bridger weight class named for Bridger Walker. What the fuck? You're going to name after some little kid like that? Like somebody ain't going to make fun of that shit because you named it for a handicapped kid? Bridger Walker, the new, what the fuck is this, dude? You guys are clowning, man. Paragon of Principles said, Fury turned 10-ounce gloves into MMA gloves. Now, here's the thing. His hands, dude, are huge. His hands are huge. 10 ounces? Dog, the bigger you have to make that glove and it stays that amount of ounces, that means the less padding there are going to be in it just because your glove is so damn big. But then they distributed it with custom-made gloves and pushed that shit down like they was trying to get Floyd Mayweather Jr. against Marcos Maidana. They was going to, hey, shout out to 78 because he reminded me of that. They was going to beat the piss out of Floyd Mayweather Jr. with Marcos Maidana. And I want to see Marcos Maidana's gloves against Adrian Bronner. Cheating asses. Y'all some cheating asses, dog. Tech is the new snitch. Yes, dog, people are going to replay your fight in slow motion. Every little detail, dog, every little shadow, every little walk to the ring, everything you do, Tyson, dog, you in the middle of a jailhouse. Okay, you already got put in jail. Public opinion jail. Because everybody's looking for you. And you know they are. Because everybody has to go out of their way to use their lies up to defend you. Man, you guys are wasting a lot of lies on Tyson Fury too. And I love it. We are emptying the lie tank. And let me explain that right after I say thank you to my man, Damian Raspberry, who says, man, that cheap Everlast gloves look better than his. Man, said, man, my cheap Everlast gloves look better than his. And I have gloves from crap to super expensive. Man, I purchased gloves from Afghanistan. Bizarre, look better than this. Yeah, dog. Hey, there you go, Daniel Raspberry. That's how they do you. That's how they do. That's how they do. Damn, I forgot what I was about to say. I had a thought pattern and I interrupted it. Can somebody remind me, get me back on my thought pattern? Because, man, I swear I had a good one. I was about to rip these boys. Dang, y'all lucky I forgot what I was about to say. He was evil, too. Dang, what I can't remember. Darius Flowers said the gloves were like that for Bronner. Check the tape for the glove selection for the Floyd fight. Leonard asked Robert, were those the same ones from the Bronner fight? And Robert says, yes. Dude, this actually the same exact gloves. The same exact gloves. He was going to wear the same exact gloves again. He's going to rewear his glove. Cheating motherfuckers, boy. Damn. Oh, the lies are running out. Yeah. They emptying their lie tank. See, here's the thing, dog. The boy that cried wolf. Y'all are crying wolf every day, dog. Y'all cried wolf on Glovegate 1. You cried wolf on Glovegate 2. You're going to cry wolf on Vinny Panzienza. You cried wolf on the contract expiring. You just wolf, 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 wolf. Y'all are just wolf, 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 wolf. Selling wolf tickets. Hey, man, that's just empty. You got no more lies left. You have tried everything. You've already added 17 gazillion weight classes. So since you tried to do 17,001, dog, you think people are just going to keep doing the same rabbit out the hat trick every time? It's like, come on, man. The motherfucking shit's in your coat. How else could it get there? All right. All of a sudden, you're standing in a circle. Nobody's around you. It does this. You pulled that shit out your coat, man. All right. You pulled it out your coat. Because that's the only place big enough for that shit to come from. And I don't even have to see it. Okay. I know it had to come from there. Had to come from there. Had to be in your back or some shit like that. And you're twiddling like this. and shaking that motherfucker up here and pulling it out the motherfucking top hat. Right out your back of your arm or some shit. Who knows? But you some cheating ass motherfuckers. And you need to just admit it, man. DJ Willie said, Fury's glove looked like mittens. We wear mittens in winter. Dog, that's exactly what they were. Leather mittens that they allowed that man to fight in because they wanted that man to lose. And they knew Deontay Wilder knew that he could knock Tyson Fury out. And if Tyson Fury can't punch, Deontay Wilder's going to knock the shit out of him, dog. And that's just what it is. If Tyson Fury does not have punching power, and let me put it this way. If this is what will happen, because you guys wanted to ask me, oh, what happens if they fight again? Let me tell you what happens if I'm right. If I'm right about this, how this dude cheated, let me tell you what the problem is for Tyson Fury. In the first fight, he made his arm look longer, so Deontay Wilder had to react to some shit coming at him, and he was hitting him with his knuckles at the same time. And even then, Deontay Wilder said the dude couldn't punch. Right? And then, so right there, shorter jab. Now, he's got actual pads on his hands. Dude, he can't punch. So he's going to have to try to feint to a guy that ain't going to worry about his feints because he knows his hands ain't that long and ain't nothing in the motherfucking glove, and he's a cheat, so you might as well just hit his ass with everything. Because all Deontay Wilder has to do is hit him. That's it. But he's not going to fight. He's going to run away. He's got his money. He's not going to come out and let it be known. He's going to hope everybody forgets it. And ain't nobody forgetting it. Man, Tyson Fury's name is absolute positively mud in the United States. Absolutely positively mud in the United States. I guarantee if you do a search on Tyson Fury cheating, let me see something. Let me pull up Google real quick and see what I get when I put in Tyson Fury cheating. Tyson Fury cheating. Oh, yeah. Let me see how many articles we can come up with it. Okay, a bunch of shit with you guys trying to defend him. Sports Illustrated. Deontay Wilder accuses Tyson Fury of cheating. Sports Talk. Gypsy King cheating. Let me see if I can go past 8 pages. Oh, Joey Spencer chimes in on gloves. Deontay Wilder reveals he got rid of snakes. Tyson Fury's hero cut man left devastated as real. No, that's something else. Yeah, dog. Yep. More cheats. He cheats. Bunch of cheat shit. Bunch of shit on him cheating. Either them defending him cheating, somebody accusing him of cheating, calling Deontay Wilder crazy because they accused him of cheating. You know what they're not calling him? They're not calling him a great heavyweight. That conversation is not taking place. Craig J said, we're going to forget. No, we're not. Because it's getting, because we know how media works too. You just got to keep saying it. Don't act like it's a question. Because if you're acting like it's a question, then I'm not doubting this. This debate has been over. This is just an established fact that this man cheated. And that's all, and that's all it is. And let's get on Top Rank because we've been on Tyson Fury. But let's get on Top Rank for a little while. Because there's also a little problem with Bob Arum. Dog, 3 strikes you out, homie. 3 strikes, you're out. 3 strikes, you're out. Personally, I think Bob Arum should be banned for life. And Top Rank should be in some trouble. You know why? Because this is the 3rd time their promotion that there has been loaded gloves used. The first time that we knew of was Louis Resto versus Collins. I got you, Craig J. I knew what you meant. That was the first time in the 80s. In the early 2000s, Margarito. And Margarito had been doing that. Cotto said that something was funny with him and something wasn't right. And everybody's like, oh, yeah, Cotto, you're making excuses until he got busted. And now you got another one with Tyson Fury. All of these things are under Bob Arum's watch. And Bob Arum also has admitted to bribing the president of the IBF. At what point in time is this Hall of Fame promoter going to get out too? At what point in time, dude, Cotto wasn't just never the same, neither was Paul Williams. Paul Williams got taken out by Sergio Martinez, got hit with that shot, and he got shut down by Sergio Martinez. Dude, he took a lot of abuse against Antonio Margarito. Antonio Margarito took a lot out of Paul Williams, man. And then he was susceptible to a guy that could take a ton of punches. All of a sudden, boom, his lights completely turned out by Sergio Martinez. Paul Williams was never the same either because of that cheater. But no. Don't act like for a second that, that Top Rank is out there cheating with all them in-house fights and all kind of stuff going on there, man. Richard Butler said, us in the UK seen this coming for years. That's why we disowned him, and he ran off to your side of the pond to join Top Rank. I got to go in on that. Yep. UK left him in a dumpster because I cheated Vladimir Klitschko. That's fucking disgraceful. Dude, Tyson Fury is a disgrace to the UK. And he can't come over here because he's a disgrace here too. Dude, ain't nobody buying that dude. Nobody interested in no Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury, nobody was interested in when he came over here the first time and cheated. He ain't come to the United States and not cheated. Saw what he did with Steve Cunningham, and I pinned that man's head up against like that and then released and punched. Dude, that's just a dirty, grimy fighter, dude. That wasn't a straight-up fight, and he's doing this to guys he's 100 pounds bigger than. He's just a punk. He's a punk. This guy is gigantic, and he needs HGH, according to Vinny Pazienza, who knows a lot about performance-enhancing drugs. This guy is 6'9", 300 pounds, walking in there with no padding on his gloves. Man, what a raggedy individual. You are already gigantic. Why do you need why do you need to cheat on top of it? That's what I'm telling you, just a shell of a person. And also, there's something to those tall guys. I'm telling you, there's always been tall guys. Always been tall guys that are 6'7", 6'8". There always have been. Jess Willard was like, what, 6'6", 6'7"? Right? They may list him at 6'5" at the time or whatever. But shit, they exaggerate people's heights right now. But anyway, did you see what happened to him and Jack Dempsey? Loaded ass gloves. Look at that fight and see how he's reacting to those punches. And why just a few years later when he's hitting what's my man's name? Gene Tunney, those punches ain't crippling him like they were crippling the big old Jess Willard. Everybody known for 100 years that dude had loaded gloves. Knew they had him for 100 and never fought nobody. Never fought a black fighter. And he could have fought black fighters. Other fighters fought black fighters outside the heavyweight division, but Jack Dempsey was a cheater too. And they praised that. Even though that one-handed, and before that, the fight with Jess Willard and Jack Johnson, with Jack Johnson laying in the ground, covering the shade, covering his eyes, like, man, I'm sick of this shit. Give me my money. Give me my money. Yeah, Jess. And then they got their Jack Dempsey champion. They're like, get it off of him. Get it up off of him. Switch it to Jess Willard. Set up Jess Willard. Now Jack Dempsey. All the way there. Still one of the great Jack Dempsey, who refused to fight Sam Langford. Ducked him to death. But oh no, you guys are just Puritans now. And it's all in our imagination. See, it's all in our imagination until the history books are written. And then whoever the guy is that wrote it, oh yeah, great job for telling us of all these transgressions that took place that we didn't know anything about. Oh my God, how eye-opening. Meanwhile, you got people shuffling like you know who you are. Y'all know dang on well this dude cheated. All of you, big-eyed dude, nigga, you know he cheated too. Am I dissing you? Yeah, whatever. You know he cheated too. Dude who need to cut his hair off. All right, look, man, I got the same hairline as you, homie, okay, and I let it go. It's time to let it go. Woo, get it gone. But y'all need to stop trying to defend this nonsense when it's been over. When it's been over. It's been over. What's up? My man, Gravy Davey in the building, man, set for the future lawyer calls. Thank you so much, sir. And I'm going to start trying to push that to the Cash App. I'm actually starting to think so that it can be more effective that I should probably like take off the super chats and just do Cash Apps. But I don't know, because that way it's a lot cleaner and I don't have to worry about, I know specifically that it's not so hard to track. Warren BR said, is there a way for us fans to create our own boxing regulator so that we can start investigations as a legal body? No, but yes. No, but yes. You vote. You vote. Oh, Fannon channeling his inner pettiness. Oh, I do, because I think these guys are jokes that are encouraged to follow me around. Yeah, I do. So I'll make fun of them so they get nice and mad and get encouraged and make another dumb video, okay, that will get debunked, that other people will attack. You know what I mean? That's how you do people. You just let them just dig their own hole. Boop, 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 all the way down to the ground. You know? Because, dude, this is like how it is. Dude, if you don't realize that we've already been around this block, something is wrong with you. This is what happened with AJ. You guys are frauds, okay? AJ was a fucking fraud that was ducking, and Tyson Fury's a fraud that cheated. You guys in the UK want control of that heavyweight division so bad that you guys are willing to let people get juiced to the fucking gill on performance-enhancing drugs. You do not even penalize them when they catch you. I mean, dude, straight up. Dillian White tested positive for performance-enhancing drugs and switched his gloves and were allowed to get into the fight with Oscar Rivas. And the British Boxing Board of Control was like, all right, what's wrong with that? Dude, I'm trying to tell you, dude, I have the British Boxing Board of Control manual, their rules. Not the shit that's on the internet, the actual rules. Dude, anybody they can test positive any day, all day, every day. There ain't no real performance-enhancing drug policies at UCAD. It's absolutely ridiculous because they have retroactive. Stop sniffing, bro. It's fucking you up. Ha ha. That's Tyson Fury, dog. Okay. No projecting. Save me your projections. Okay. That would be Tyson Fury that's sniffing too much, thinking that people are going to believe this cornball shit. He got on a show with Garth Davies and admitted that he had accepted every date that was presented to him. Now, dummy, did you not know that the dates that were presented to you by Bob Arum? And then Bob Arum, after you said cool, Bob Arum then went to talk to Deontay Wilder, and Deontay Wilder said cool. Maybe that's how it happened. That's why Tyson Fury thinks that he said yes to every date that they presented, because it was the dates that Bob Arum presented to him, because Bob Arum wanted it to be on television. Deontay Wilder didn't even care. He said, I just want to have the fight because you cheated. And I want to get back in here because you cheated. I feel like somebody messed with my water. I feel like I see your gloves. You know what I mean? No, dude, you didn't punch like that before. I was in the ring with you. I just want the fight. And then when all that comes out, what does Tyson Fury do? He says, no, I don't want to fight you. I don't want to fight you. And how can you guys excuse this once he said he didn't want to fight? Now you can't do all of this at the same time. You can't one time say Deontay Wilder's making excuses and he's just making excuses and that's because he got his ass whooped. He needs to sit on his L. And then at the same time say Tyson Fury doesn't have to fight him. Deontay Wilder's showing you he wants to fight and Tyson Fury's showing you that he doesn't want to fight. And you're okay. And then so you're trying to have your cake and eat it too. You're trying to call Deontay Wilder a coward and a liar and somebody that's just making excuses. Well, shit. If he was doing all that, then why does he want to fight and Tyson Fury does not want to fight? How does that work, man? How does it work that the guy that's the coward is the one that's trying to fight and the manly tough guy is the one that's running away? Claiming a contract expired out of the blue for a fight on December 5th when it's November 12th right now. Dude, this is a shambles of some nonsense, dude. And Vinny Pazienza, well, shout out to 78, man. Much love in that super chat. He says, smash that like. Yeah, man, smash that like button, man. Royal Kabosh said, salute, man. I'm sorry. I got to know how to pronounce it. Kadash. Royal Kadash said, salute. And salute to you, sir. And my man, Main Event Mark said, Fannon plays chess. These haters play tiddlywinks. Man, these motherfuckers is just on the little yellow bus. These some little yellow ass bus. Tyson Fury is a little yellow bus type dude too. Dude, this guy, do you understand what this dude's mouth has done? Just his mouth alone. Let me tell you how much money his mouth cost some alleged mobsters in Ireland. His mouth. $300 million. Because he opened his mouth. Because he said, thanks, Mr. X, for getting this across, for getting this fight across the across the line. Tyson, you're not supposed to be negotiating for a fight because you have one with Deontay Wilder, number one. And if you're going to pull out, you can't be saying that you can't have everybody know that you already set up another fight that you're trying to make. Because you don't think Shelly Finkel's going to pull that out? Excuse me. All of this is crap. He's trying to tank this because he already had a fight scheduled over there in Dubai with Anthony Joshua. That's what he said. He said, thank you to Mr. X for making this fight, for getting over the line. And as soon as that dumbass said that, people were like, what the fuck? What kind of international mafia tied up shit is this? Oh my goodness. And he was part of the first fight too. And guess what? When your guy calls you on the phone to tell you that he made a fight for you, that's your manager. That's not your buddy. That's your manager. That's your personal manager. And you guys just think people are so stupid. Like, come on, man. Come on. He founded Tyson Fury's management company and he's making personal calls and setting up fights for him. That's his manager. It's just his manager. And since that's his manager, you know anything is fucking possible, dog. Anything is possible. Anything is possible. It's amazing how crooked Tyson Fury is. It's amazing how much shit he got on his head. For real, for real. Like, that's why, you know what? You ever heard like when the Hitler dude said that, the bigger the lie, the more people will believe it? That has got to be Tyson Fury's career. They'll just figure we just need to tell a bigger lie. Because if we just tell this really huge lie, nobody's going to believe it. And then we'll just have a bunch of our little trolls running around telling people, oh, not to believe it. Tyson, nobody believes it. Okay, you've pulled the stunt too many times, and we don't trust the media anyway. We've got tapes on you, and we put money on it. You cheating fuck. But I didn't put no money on it because I knew y'all some cheating fucks. Like, dude, come on, man. All this money these dudes made off that shit. All the money they made off that shit. Come on, man. Tyson Fury's as dirty as they come, and Top Rank is as dirty as they come. Top Rank, like I said, 3 times on their card they've been caught with their champions getting in the ring with loaded gloves. And that's just what you've been caught with. Because there's a bunch of times they weren't caught. You think that was the first time that Louis Resto got into a ring with gloves like that? You think that's the first? We know it's not the first time Tyson Fury got into a ring with defective gloves. We know it's not the first time. If Vinny Panzienza is right, you know that ain't. And that's Al Bernstein. Let me go in on Al Bernstein. Dog, Al Bernstein, the fuck away with your fucking horse shit. How are you going to act surprised? Like, he tried to laugh it off. He tried to laugh it off. Did Vinny Panzienza accuse Tyson Fury of performance-enhancing drugs because he knew of bodybuilders that he hung out with? Do you know what that means? That means Vinny Panzienza, if he knows the boxer, if he knows the bodybuilders, he knows they sold it to him. When he said hanging out, he meant they sold it to him. That's what he meant. Okay? At least that's what I believe he meant. That's my interpretation. Because when you're like, dude, I know these bodybuilders that hang out at boxing matches. You know bodybuilders that just so happen to be hanging out at boxing matches that just so happen to bump into Tyson Fury? Of course not. If you want to buy that stuff, who are you going to go to? Bodybuilders. They got all of it. They're fucking experts at that shit. You kidding me? Isn't that the same thing that happened to Jarrell Big Baby Miller? People said the same thing. He's hanging out with bodybuilders. He's out there lifting weights with bodybuilders. This dude's over there at the WWE. Man, come on. You think those guys are really that big? Remember that dude, Chris Benoit, been something some years ago, dude. There's this guy, there's this WWE wrestler named Chris Benoit or whoever it is, but the dude died because he went crazy, dude. Man, what is this dude's name? I got to look this up. Chris Benoit death. Let me see. Oh, yeah, him. Chris Benoit, double murder suicide. Bro, I saw his ass on a plane one time. Sat like he was one seat up and I was to the back of him. You could see. If he thought, you'd see his brain move. Like, if he did this, like if he took a bite of food, his entire head, every muscle in his head lit up. I was like, this motherfucker is red as a fucking beet, too. Like, I'm like, dude, what the fuck is this dude look like? He looked like, it's hard to describe how roided up this guy was. He was so roided up that it's like, oh my God. But look at some of the pictures of Tyson Fury. When he's throwing dude, that dude is solid muscle. How do you get rid of 400 pounds? You get 400 pounds of 190 in a year, number one. Get the fuck out of here. And people in the same gym got caught with performance-enhancing drugs that were designed to do that exact same. That's what I thought Tyson Fury was going to get flagged on, the nafraxaline, the same stuff that Billy Joe Saunders got caught on. Dude, Ben Davison is in the corner of both of those dudes. Both of those steroid cheats, man. And Huey Fury is on dope. And Dillian White's on dope. And Alexander Povetkin's on dope. Man, these guys are so dope, it's ridiculous. And you guys just act like you don't see it. But we'll repeat it. We dang sure will. My man, 78 Sports TV, thank you much love in that super chat again. Once again, dude, thank you, my man. Let me move up a little bit because now I'm starting to see how this goes. Ratty Habit said, Fannon, you're my hero. Your hero. Look at what you fight for. Exactly. Hey, man, I appreciate you, man. Ratty Habits. Thank you, sir. Look, man, you know what this dude is, man. And we just have to understand that as black people, and I mean that. Like, dude, let's cut all the noise out, dude, because the machine is never going to work with us. It's just never going to work with us, man. We are in a situation truly where we need to try to support the PBC, and all the horse shit that goes on related to the fights that may happen are shit we should talk about. But dog, at least those guys are not so blatantly crooked. Like, it's like the PBC has to work within the confines of the crookedness. And I'm sure that there is some crookedness going on just because by nature, human beings will scheme. Like, that's what we do. Like I said, scamming is natural. Okay, because scamming is just trying to figure out how you can take different, desperate resources and concoct something into something you can put in your stomach. Okay, then that's what human beings are always going to do. They're going to scam, right? You used to scam to try to, hey man, let's scam these buffaloes and see if we can run them off a cliff because we can't kill them. But if we can fake, if we can fake this fire, we can run them off that cliff and they'll die at the bottom and we can have plenty food. Dog, people been scamming forever. Okay, so that's just part of it. But because I heard 78 did this great talk about like the criminal underworld in boxing. Now, my viewpoint on it is that is human nature. Like what you call criminality is really just human nature at its essence. And you have rules and regulations to try to keep us from being too dog eat dog with each other. But the base of it is the base of it. If somebody can bribe somebody, they're going to bribe somebody. And Tyson Fury bribed Mark Breland. And I know he bribed Mark Breland. I saw him do it. I heard him. Somebody tell me I'm lying. Did you hear? Let's ask a question. Did anybody in here hear Tyson Fury bribe Mark Breland? So you got to look at things for what they actually are. But put a 1 in the comment section if you actually know that Tyson Fury bribed Mark Breland. And some of you dummies are going to say, no, he didn't bribe him. Oh, he bribed him. Right in everybody's face, he bribed him. He bribed him in the exact same way that Martin Carefoot said that Tyson Fury bribed him. It's the exact same pattern, but he did it right in front of your face when he offered Mark Breland that job. If Deontay Wilder fires you, don't you worry. We got plenty of money over here. You're not going to be starving. That's what he did. He bribed him right there, either for his silence or period for his silence. There's why else would he care if you fired a trainer? Oh, I'm just such a good guy. Why you motherfuckers falling for Tyson Fury saying the reason I'm not going to sue Deontay Wilder is because I'm such a good guy. Yeah, you're such a good guy that would get in there with loaded gloves. We saw it. You're such a good guy that you would get into the ring with Christian Hamer with a defective glove and under the influence of Nandrolone. And you're such a good guy that you will bribe Martin Carefoot to lie to the BBOC and then shortchange him and stiff him on the money you promised him. At least that's what it seems like, because that's what Martin Carefoot said happened to him. And I don't know who else would be that interested in your career other than people connected to you to do something like that. Time to ante up in that super chat, man. Much love in that super chat, man. Just straight crooks, man. Just straight crooks. There you go. Bunch of ones. Threw in the towel because of guilt. Man, he threw in that towel. Oh, I'm saving him because he's going to get hurt. Andre Durrell, somebody said Andre Durrell made a lot of money off that fight. Somebody told me that. RN to get it. He said, Fannon, you lie enough, you'll grow to believe your own lies. Yep, absolutely, no doubt about it. And Tyson Fury, Tyson Fury don't even believe these lies. Your kid's gonna know about this though, because honestly, his whole family knows. That's the thing. They all know. And they're probably all sitting there laughing about it and sitting back there like, oh shit, he caught us. Because, dude, they're blatant cheaters, dude. This is some shit that is just them. Okay? I absolutely believe Tyson Fury, his father, Huey Fury, Ben Davison, and those guys would sit around a room and figure out exactly how to cheat Deontay Wilder. Because we ain't gonna let Tyson get hit with that big ass punch. So let's figure out how we can cheat him. Absolutely, positively, I believe he would do that shit. Wilder was actually getting stronger and clearing his head when Breland stopped it. I didn't see that because he stopped it. Task Force Rush said, for the life of me, I don't know why they covered up that camera. Yeah, you do, because they had some shit they didn't want you to see. Now, this is unfair. That's unfortunate. That is unfortunate. Oh, Sugar Hill, you know. You know. Not facts, opinion. Not facts, opinion, because Kenny Bayless could have stopped that fight. Kenny Bayless could have stopped it. So all that shit, get out of here with that. Kenny Bayless could have stopped that fight. He has the right to stop that fight, dude. And I don't even want to say that, focus ball, that he got gypped. I don't want to say that. You know why I don't want to say that? Because that is a stereotype again with Romani people. But I know damn well that Tyson Fury is a fucking cheat. I'm not putting that on every... I can't say that I've ever experienced that with people that were considered traveling people. I know that said. I can't say that I know that to be true. But I know what I know that he is. I know he is, without a doubt. I know he's a cheater. And he knows he's a cheater. And his daddy knows he's a cheater. And his wife probably knows he's a cheater. And his kids know he's a cheater. Because he's such a fucking cheater. It's so obvious what he's doing. They practiced it. Jesus, they practice it. They practice it. They practiced fighting with no padding in the gloves. And Ben Davison admitted it. Hey, look, just King Vonnie, 86, just because he has connections. No, who said that? Keon Fowles, just because Mark Breland has ties to Crunk Jim doesn't mean he's a cheater. Tyson Fury's a cheater because I caught his ass cheating. Because we caught him cheating. In the movie Snatch, that's what gypsies do. They scammed. Look, there's a lot of people that scam. I'm just not going to get into that because, dude, it's like not necessary because Tyson Fury is a cheater. I know he did it. So I don't have to I would say, man, I would never worry about none of his criminal charges because Deontay Wilder wants his $40 million. Deontay Wilder wants his money. He wants the fight, which is the crazy thing. Deontay Wilder's not suing him for all that stuff. So all you guys saying he's such a sore loser and all that, it's weights in the glove, not no padding. Brian Serious, dude, it's no fucking padding, dog. I just showed the picture. Woo Daddy 36. Man, make sure I do not forget that I was about to talk about those gloves again. Anyone got footage of Jack Reese wiping Tyson Fury's glove in the first fight? That ish was more blatant than the second fight. Oh, you talking about pulling him? Hey, put your gloves down, Tyson. Man, Jack Reese is full of shit on that, dog. Okay, Jack Reese full of shit. Man, where was that? I forgot what I was about to do, though. He said Tyson Fury's glove looked like that. Yeah, they did. Hell yeah, they did. Yeah, oh no, dog. Yeah, that's what I was going to do. Yeah, man, sorry. Let me show you again. That's not egg weights right here, homie. Those are not egg weights. Those are knuckles, okay? Now, I know people say that there aren't egg weights, but those are not egg weights. That's this little piggy went to market. This little piggy went home. This little piggy said, fuck you, Tyson. This little piggy ain't got no padding on it. And this is a crinkle that proved he cheated. Okay, that shit is not egg weights. Those are knuckles and fingers. And Everett said they look like oven mittens. Exactly. They look like oven mittens. And that's what every time you show anybody that, they immediately know his ass cheated. Okay, that's how it rolls, all right? They look like oven mitts. Exactly. Kermit the Frog gloves. Exactly, J.A. Dixon. Kermit the Frog gloves. But no, Deontay Wilder is such a sore loser. Andre Ward, come on, man. Dog, I ain't even... Hey, Don't let me get no Hall of Fame vote, homie. I ain't voting for you, Andre. I'm telling you right now, dog, I can't vote for you, homie. I can't hope for you. I gotta think you a fraud now. I gotta go look at Andre Ward's gloves now. Maybe the reason he did cheat Kovalev. Maybe I need to go back and get them gloves, man. Maybe I need to see if I can see gloves in his knuckles. You know what I mean? Against Chad Dawson. Because, dog, I don't think that I ever saw him with gloves like that. But since he ain't fessing up for Tyson Fury, maybe he got some shit in his own career he's covering up. You know what I mean? Like, dude, when you defend that type of shit, I gotta think you dirty. I already got a problem with this whole you believe that somebody jumped up out the ground alive 3 days after he died. Like that, I already got problems with that. All right. I'm just telling you the truth. I already got problems with you. Like, I don't ever say it because I don't want to be like blaspheming, because we know we got a lot of real good, we got a lot of good, Christians around here. And I'm, sometimes I get kind of heathenistic. But dog, you telling me that you believe this guy literally jumped out that grave and said hello and floated to heaven? Nah, maybe I don't need to believe you about this boxing, dog. Because, maybe that's true. Maybe it happened. But, dog, that's 1 in a billion. It's like, that's quite a story. You know what I mean? That's quite a story you selling me, Dre. I've been around a long time, dog. I don't know. I was in church just as much as you, I promise. I don't know about what they telling you. But you buy that, maybe you will buy these gloves. If you think God looked like Santa Claus floating on the top of a cloud, hey, man, maybe you will buy any money. Maybe you will buy anything, man. Maybe you ain't that bright. Tyson Fury cheated, homie, okay? Now, also, don't tell me Jesus can turn water to wine, but Tyson Fury can't slip some gloves into a boxing ring, man, okay? We are all the son of... I see, now I'm blaspheming. Now I'm going to stop. But I'm telling the truth. Y'all know where I was going with that, dog. I think all y'all know where I was going with that. Man, don't be hard. Hey, I don't need none of y'all allegories out in this bitch, okay? Dog, Tyson Fury's such a scumbag. What a scumbag, dog. With the I forgot. Yeah. And he's a white dude in the middle of Egypt that they can't find. He's a blonde-haired, blue-eyed white dude born right next to Egypt and can hide with the masses of Africans. Dog, how many blue-eyed, blonde-haired people were there in Egypt around those times, dog, for him to be able to hide in? Look, man, ain't nobody buying none of that, man. Ain't nobody buying all of that stuff, man. Like, stop. See, that's what they do with Christmas. See, that's what they do with Christmas stories. They condition you to believe any old dumb shit at a young age. See, I never told my kids no lies about Santa Claus, dog. I didn't do it because I didn't want them ever at any point in time in their life to have to undo some dumb shit out of their brain. I think convincing the kids about Santa Claus is the first way you condition them to believe any fucking stupid thing that you say. Hey, little kid, there's a rabbit. There's a rabbit running around in the backyard shitting chocolate eggs. That's chocolate eggs, ain't it? It's a little white rabbit running around shitting chocolate eggs. Let's go run and look for it. And then a couple months later, they make you real scared because all the ghouls and creeps are going to come get you. Then they tell you a story. About how they came to the United States and everybody loved each other. And it was really, we just all got along great. We walked off the boat. They handed us some turkey and some jam, and we have been buddies ever since. And then on Christmas, they tell you a fat white man comes down your chimney and gives you all his presents while your broke ass parents ain't done shit for you all year. Dog, stop. Okay, that just conditions you to believe dumb shit. Okay, we are old enough, dog, now to put away childish ways, okay? When I was young in the boxing world, I would believe that horse shit. Okay, now I do not, homie. Now I do not. Now I know that Tyson Fury cheated. I know that those gloves did not have any padding on them. I know that that is the case. Okay? I know that that is the case. It's just time to set all that stuff to the side and make an admission that you know what's going on, man. In time, and one of the people that should do that too is my man Terrence Crawford. Because we can shift and talk about Terrence Crawford in this fight that's coming up, man. Better Future said, kind of went off topic there for a few. Interesting segue. Yeah, I do that every once in a while. I do that every once in a while, man. What kind of shirt do I got on under this? Yeah, I do that every once in a while, man. I go off, but I'm back. I'm back to the corruption. But really, I just say all that to say, look, man. To the answer to the question, we entered into this whole thing with Glovegate, and I was, hey, man, Leon Witherspoon, man, much love in that super chat, man, says stay on that case. Thank you, man. I most definitely will, dude. LG said the whole Santa Claus thing ain't that be a deal. I'm just saying, dog, look, dog, stop with that. Yes, it is. It absolutely is, dude. When you're a little kid, dude, and you really believe that shit, you're staying in your bedroom all night waiting for antlers to bounce across your ceiling. Dog, they're telling you to believe some shit that is not true. Okay? That is deceiving somebody. Whether you want to admit that that's deceiving a little kid or not, that's deceiving a little kid. Okay? All you got to do is be like, look, we're getting together. We're having a special party tonight. We want to show each other love here. Here's this gift for you. Here's a gift for you. We all get together. We love each other. And the shit is just as good without the story, okay? So no, don't give me that shit, dog. No. It makes you easier to believe dumb shit. And it takes a long time for you to stop believing dumb shit, okay? If you are more practical at an earlier age and deal with life as it is, that is going to be better than you giving little kids fantasy stories, okay? It's just what it is, all right? But it's fun now. Don't get me wrong. It's fun and it has its place. Fannon, do you think that Fury is so light in terms of weight because because not only taking PEDs, instead relies on his natural weight? Dude, he's not light. Tyson Fury is huge. Tyson Fury is huge. Tyson Fury just is not very talented. And that's the problem with Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury is not very talented. And that's what he's missing. He's very well schooled, but he's not very talented. He's not very athletic, no matter what you guys say about how he moves his foot and what great slick moves and all. Dog, that shit ain't all that, man. Okay? That shit's not all of that. He's just tall and hard to hit. You know, when he's doing all that shoulder rolling and stuff, and dude, he's 6'9" in his head. He said Wilder what? See, that's why these niggas struggle with these hoes still believing in Santa. Hey, he who greets fire said he's 6'9", almost 300 pounds. Exactly. And what's going on? The Watcher in the building, man. What's good, Watcher? Respect. All day, every day, sir. Is it true that Tyson used his knuckles on the bottom part of the glove? I saw that he did. Yes, absolutely. I believe he did. I saw knuckles in it. Look, man, sometimes, because some of you guys are new, I got to go back and pull it back and remind you where I came from. Okay? I was an Anthony Joshua fan and a Tyson Fury fan. That's where I began. Oh, said that super chat, he's talking about Wilder not stay on that case. Yeah, I don't know. We'll work it out, man. Look, let me explain my history with this whole thing, okay? And why I'm so disgusted at the UK. When I first started my channel, I did a lot of UK videos. A lot of them. Because that's why it's Fannon International Boxing Channel. Because when I really started pushing was around the time of Errol Spence Jr., Kell Brook, and Anthony Joshua, Vladimir Klitschko. Those fights that took place in like May, what was it, like April and May or May and June. I can't remember. But right around that time, I was making those videos, and I really liked Anthony Joshua. And I did not like Deontay Wilder because Deontay Wilder at the time was having beef with Mike Tyson. And I really wasn't following Deontay Wilder like that at the time. So all I heard was, Deontay Wilder saying things about Mike Tyson. And my thing was I was making videos about Deontay Wilder like, I understand where Deontay Wilder is coming from and saying that Mike Tyson's not supporting him, right? Because I was coming in the middle of the conversation, right? This thing had been going on for a couple years, and I was coming like some of y'all are now. I was coming into it in the middle of the conversation. So in the middle of that conversation, I was like, I'm kind of riding with Mike Tyson here because I believe in respecting the guys ahead of you, right? But then I started paying attention, right? Started paying attention because I liked Anthony Joshua. So I was watching and listening to everything Eddie Hearn was saying because I thought of Eddie Hearn as kind of like a UK version of Al Heyman, right? A guy that was getting fighters more money because they were getting television deals and they were giving them like Derek Chisora. They gave him a cut of the pie, right? My idea was that Eddie Hearn was kind of like trying to do in the UK what Al Heyman was doing in the United States. And they even had a halfway decent working relationship at the time, right? So that's where I was. But over time, I'm like, oh, no. These guys are trying to shut Deontay Wilder out because this stuff that they're saying doesn't make any sense. Because right after that fight, Eddie Hearn started talking about how they had an 8-fight plan, and they didn't mention Deontay Wilder. But they said he wanted Deontay Wilder to fight Dillian White. Dude, I'm telling you, that was the week after the Klitschko fight. And then I just watched it play out over the next 2 years. And it was like, no, dude, you guys are freezing Deontay Wilder out. So I was like, no, I can't support Deontay. I'm not going to support Anthony Joshua while he's freezing out Deontay Wilder. I'm not going to do that. Not that I really like Deontay Wilder. But then it got worse because Anthony Joshua kept fighting recycled fighters, and they were praising him to death. Deontay Wilder was getting these knockouts that are like, boom, knocking people's heads off. And I'm like, damn, why don't they get a dude any credit? So I started slowly like moving more to the middle, right? More to the middle between the two of them. And then it got to the point when AJ started trying to come to the United States, and they just started acting like they were making offers to Deontay Wilder that were ridiculous flat fee offers and shit where it was like, nah, get the fuck out of here. You just don't want to fight this dude. You just don't want to fight him. So I cut on Anthony Joshua. But at that time, I was still supporting Tyson Fury because I liked Tyson Fury. And if you go back, you could look at the videos I was doing. When he was retired, when he was still in this thing, dude, I was supporting him. I was like, making videos about how the British Boxing Board of Control was dragging their feet on him. Because, dog, the British Boxing Board of Control did not want his ass back fighting because they were putting a thumb on him for a long time. But he kept lying and lying and lying and delaying and lying and delaying and lying that he froze up the British Boxing Board of Control to the point where they were going to go bankrupt if they didn't cut him a deal. The British Boxing Board of Control didn't want to let Tyson Fury fight. They wanted his ass to be suspended because they knew he was lying. Nobody believed that boar meat bullshit. They wanted him suspended. But started costing too much money, and they let him off. So I was like, oh, yay. And so I was supporting Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury because I was like, this is a great way to go around Anthony Joshua. But then, dude, for Tyson Fury to do what he did, now you see why they left him in the gutter and why the British Boxing Board of Control never wanted to let him fight again. Because this type of shit is inevitable with him. He's going to fuck around and kill somebody. That dude is going to fuck around and kill somebody doing the shit he's doing because he's so fucking over the top with it. Dog, listen to what he's been accused of and what he's not denied. He has been accused by a heavyweight champion of being involved in poisoning his water, man. Guess what? People put shit in water. If you do not believe me, let's go back to the last cheat we talked about. Panama Lewis, who was suspended for that Lewis Resto thing with the fight with Alexis Arguello and Aaron Pryor. What did he say? Give me that water. No, not that one. The one I mixed. And they gave him some water that they had put asthma medicine, crumbled up asthma medicine in. So it would open up his lungs and he would get another boost of energy. And that's what Louis Resto said was in that thing. So you know what that means? Louis Resto knew how Panama Louis was cheating. And if Resto knew it, so did a whole lot of other people know it. And that was his water. But now you're acting like Tyson Fury. And then Tyson Fury, immediately after the fight, man, he looks so guilty, it's ridiculous. He's on tape saying, do not give me that water. He like had a reaction like, no, because somebody handed him a water. He said, no, give me that. No, not that water. Give me some other water because somebody will put something in that water to try to make me pop dirty or something. Because that's what people have done. But yet you act like, oh, Deontay Wilder is so crazy. Look at this. Tyson Fury, who admitted that he was worried about somebody putting something in his water, now thinks that Deontay Wilder is crazy for saying somebody put some water in his. Do you hear me? Like, it's literally the more you think about Tyson Fury, the more lies you can discover. That shit just came off the top of my head because it's true. Tyson Fury is now claiming that Deontay Wilder is crazy because he said somebody could have put something in his water. Although Tyson Fury is on tape in the post-fight press conference of that same fight, not taking water because he said he believed somebody could put water in it, but could put something in his water. Amazing, ain't it? When it's Tyson Fury, it's reasonable for him to believe that there's something could be put in his water. With with Alexis Arguello, we know somebody put something in Aaron Pryor's water to spike him up. You don't think anybody knows how to put water in something in your shit to depress you? To depress you? Come on, man. Like nobody's ever thought of putting something in somebody's water. But Tyson Fury can say, oh, somebody could do that to me, but he's not paranoid. Deontay Wilder says somebody did it to him, and the same guy that is worried about it himself says the other guy is paranoid. You're just a liar, Tyson Fury. You're a liar, Tyson Fury, and not a good one because you do it way too often. You need to limit your lies to a smaller number so you don't have to keep tripping over them. Focus Ball said the Bible don't celebrate Christmas. Jeremiah 10. I celebrate Christmas. And it's just as fun when you don't think Santa Claus is coming down your chimney. And it gets a lot less expensive too. It's like the whole thing gets better when you take that out of it. Really does. Because then it becomes a real celebration about something real, about you and your family having made it another year. Hey, man, it's December 25th. We only got another week left in the year. That we all worked hard. We was all grinding all year to pay these bills, to get our grades right, to teach students, to write contracts, to put out videos, to whatever you're doing. That's the celebration that you have on Christmas. And if you celebrate that, dude, that is a wonderful day with presents and food and family to regenerate, to celebrate all the work you've done and to re-energize yourself for the year to come. Dude, that's all you need. Your kids don't need to know, and they can watch those cartoons and all that stuff. That's why it's so hard for me. It's like, dude, it sounds like a superhero story. Just like Marvel. Sounds just like Marvel. But it's a Marvel story. But y'all don't, but it's a real Superman. You know what I mean? It's like you're trying to convince me that Superman is real. And that just doesn't, Wilder failed with what? What kind of dude is sitting there with a prod with a jailed lion? Okay, sure. You're going to whip a lion. I get you. Thank you. Is that something related to Brian Sirius? Like, you think you're cute? LDBC is a lion, and you got a lion. You got a whip. You got a whip and a lion growling at you. Okay, get out of here, homie. Don't overthink your new identity when you come back in after you get kicked out. Okay, that is overthinking it. You're trying to be lion tamer with a whip. Fuck out of my face with that cornball shit, man. Come back with another one, okay? Your anagrams are terrible, okay? Not every time, I'm sure some that I miss, but most times I just see them and I know who you are. Okay? Lion killer, lion tamer, you fucking cornball. You fucking cornball. Yo, by the way, you don't think I see you? I see you, cornball. I don't got the, you know what I mean? Just thought I would throw that shit out there, dog. I see you, fucking cornball. And as soon as you get 2 steps closer, I'm gonna bash you with a mallet. Okay? Niggas sitting there playing around in the shadows like motherfucker don't see you. Dog, you ain't hiding in the shadows, dog. It's you. Okay? Fucking cornball. That's why I had to start charging ahead of time for my Patreon. Cornball. Fucking cornball. Isaiah, yeah, he sits right here thinking don't nobody see him. Thinking don't nobody see him. Because your bitch ass think you smart. We gotta be seeing this nigga all the time. Like, dude, really? You think I'm gonna like that chick? Really? Do you seriously think I'm gonna get with that chick, dog? For real? Like, who do you think you think I am? Fucking crazy, dog. Isaiah Jones in that super chat, man. Yeah, motherfuckers be thinking I don't see. Just because you itty bitty, teeny weeny, and don't nobody give a fuck about you, I still see you. Man, Justin said, saw your mammal and fish stuff about Crawford. You should work for National Geographic. I forget about what was my mammal and fish stuff about Terrence Crawford. I forgot. The mammal and the fish. I don't remember. I be coming up with shit off the top because it just kind of comes. So if I said shit today, I will not remember that shit tomorrow. Nah, I like dude. Nah, him, I like him. I wouldn't say a bad word about that dude. I like him. For real. No doubt about it. I like him. Because this guy is real. He's real. He really believes the shit he's saying. Like, no matter what's wrong with him and all that dumb shit, he really believes what he's saying, and I can respect that. You know what I mean? So I don't have any ill will towards him because he really does believe it. He's just not somebody that I particularly like. You know what I mean? And he don't like me, and it's all good. But no, the fake ones are the real ones that are irritate you. You know, the ones that don't believe the bullshit that they're spewing. Focus Ball said, in order to determine what is possible and impossible, one must first know all the laws of the universe. I know a magic word that makes me dream my days ahead. Dang, man, that's a beautiful thing. I did something with my wife yesterday because I wanted to skip an argument. Now, this is something I can do with my wife, and my wife knows I can do, so she never argues with me, right? She doesn't agree with me, right? And I don't agree with her. You'll appreciate this, Focus Ball. So what I'll do is I will tell her I do not want to hear. I get out of the conversation, right? I will go somewhere else, and then I will just think. I'll put myself in her body, and I will think about everything she would say to me in that scenario. And then after I go through it, I'll come back and I'll say, okay, this is her position that she would take. And then I will say, okay, I'll debate it to myself, and then I'll go back to her. And I'll say, hey, babe, I just want to let you know I agree with the argument that you would have made, and I'm going to do this. Is that okay? And then she'll laugh, and she'll say, yeah. She'll laugh, and she'll say, yeah. I love it, dog, because it skips all the way past the argument. Because I'll be like, dude, I know your perspective. So once I know your perspective, that's all I really need. And so we don't really have to have a lot of conversation, you know? Said she and me never argue. Yeah, we never argue either because of that. I try to jump ahead of it. Ryan Garcia got lucky. He's about to catch his first L. Why not fight Haney? He didn't get touched. He's fresh because we're not talking about that bunny badass. Because we're not talking about that bunny badass. Please, I appreciate the money, but we're talking about Tyson Fury here, dog. We are not talking about Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney. Okay, that's just not the subject matter right now. Would love to talk about it when the time is right, but let's keep it going. But as far as that goes, Ryan Garcia ain't gonna fight Devin Haney because, dog, he's gonna be protected, just like Teofimo Lopez. And Devin Haney's gonna have to do it the hard way. Because those guys are faking like they don't know who he is. So people in the LDBC and people in new media are going to have to stay on top of it and keep trying to push these guys to force a fight between Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia. Say that's a terrible fight. It's not a draw. No, I don't think it's a draw. But, Fannon, I just say put money on it when I don't want to argue. Nah, man, she ain't never going to do that. Oh, no. My wife will already tell me your money is my money. What am I betting with my money for? Now, my wife been hanging out with me too much. She's way too difficult than that, man. Yeah, man. Let me make sure. I don't think I missed anything else. No, I don't think I did. I don't think Campbell really got it. Oh, man, look, man. I don't know whether he did or he didn't. But I don't really care about those guys. I care about Devin Haney, but I don't really care about Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia to me right now is a waste of time talking about because he's just not ready. I know he's not ready. You know he's not ready. So, and there are real fights about to take place, like Kell Brook and Terrence Crawford. And I'm telling you right now, dog, Terrence Crawford better knock that motherfucker out. Okay? You better knock him out. He needs to push the gas on that dude and get him out. So did you take a look at the photos? Which photos? Which photos? Salute to all men with good wives. Yeah. Oh, you did? Hold on a second. Man, I love Instagram. Oh, yeah. But nah, I hadn't yet, I don't think. But I'll look at it in a second. So, did it? Man, Instagram be funny in the mug, man. Yeah, I don't get it. I can't find it right now. I'll get it in a second. Big Country Howard said, "What's good, my brother? Keep putting that real putting that real information out." Yeah, no doubt about it, man. Oh man, Jay Barnes said Bud is getting the KO. He better get that KO. You got to get that KO, man. You got to get that KO. And I don't care what nobody says. This is a precarious political situation Bud finds himself in, and as a result, he has got to get it going. Just like there are fight stages in your career where you know you're going to get the benefit of the doubt. Right? Like a young fighter that they're like, okay, we're trying to build this guy up. The fight might have been a little closer than we think it is, but we're going to give that guy the benefit of the doubt. Now, we all know that happens in the sport of boxing. Without a doubt, that happens in the sport of boxing. So do not be surprised when it happens the other way, where it's like, okay, we've got this champion, we've got this fighter, and he's as big as he's ever going to be. We don't have any matchups for him, really, because they don't. See, I'll do this way. Dude, look, go through the alternatives for Top Rank. Top Rank has certain Build Stronger Men that I dropped the super chat to. Give me 1 second. I have my system better now. All righty. And Bill Stronger Men said, "You have the spirit of Antichrist. How dare you drag God?" Bill Stronger Men said, you have what is this stupidity you fucking said that I'm about to fucking blast you on, you fucking moron? You have the spirit of the Antichrist. How dare you drag God's name in the mud in the name of the Belightened? Let's talk boxing, man. Fuck out of here, Bill Stronger Men. Fuck out of here. Fuck you and get the fuck out of my life. Where are you at? Where the fuck you at, dude? Fuck you and get out of my goddamn life. And I mean that wholeheartedly, dude. I did not drag God. What? I can't stand morons. Where'd you go? Somebody toss him, dog. You're usually a decent dude, but you got to mind your fucking business when it comes to that. I did not drag God because I said that I don't believe a story that somebody told me about him. How is that dragging God? First of all, dog, you don't know God. God is omnipotent, right? All-knowing everywhere. You've never met him or her or whatever it is. So shut up, okay? So how do you know I drag what you don't know? Fuck out of here. You believe what the fuck you want to believe. I'll believe what I want to believe. God is great. And I know God is great. Your fucking fairy tale ain't my problem, okay? And it is what it is. There's all kind of stories that sound stupid, okay? You're trying to tell me that God told you that I'm okay to be subjugated into slavery because I am an infidel. Okay? The reason for the start of slavery was the papal bull of whatever year it was, and it was a pope who said that. Okay? The pope just changed from homosexuality being something you go to hell for and burn forever to it being a life choice and everything being cool. Okay? So shut the fuck up. There's 15 different stories. I don't need you trying to tell me no nonsense like that. You are not God. I am not God. You cannot tell me how can I drag a God? Because of Christmas? Because I don't believe in the Easter Bunny? Do you believe in the Easter Bunny? Do you believe in Santa Claus, you fucking moron? Do you? You believe in Santa Claus? Because that's what I said. I don't believe in Santa Claus. And if you believe somebody passed away and was in the ground for 3 days and came out and floated to heaven, I think that that's an allegory. I think that that's something that can teach you something about your life. I don't understand how a literal interpretation of that does me any good. Because when I die, I'm going to stay in the ground. How does that story help me? It does not. And when did they teach you that story? On slave fields. You're trying to convince me that something that was taught to slaves on a plantation as a way to keep them calm, as a way to tell them that their future is in heaven and not right now. You're supposed to tell me that I'm blasphemous because I don't believe that bullshit. You are a coon beyond coons. And a moron beyond morons. Fuck you and your super chat. What's the news on Fury and Wilder that Fury cheated? Sorry, every once in a while I do that. Every once in a while I do that. Because I want you guys to understand that it is my opinion and my opinion counts. You can believe whatever you want to believe, but you can believe it from somewhere else. And I am far from the only person that believes that. I am far from the only Christian that believes that. There are many Christians that do not believe that stuff. Many of them. Oh, exactly. You just got dragged. He says, see the difference between getting dragged and not? That's getting dragged. Absolutely. How dare you? Dude, get out of here, man. We are trying to not do that stuff, okay? We're trying to not do that type of stuff. We're trying to actually think for ourselves. We're actually trying to use the brain that God gave us to solve problems that are before us with logic that comes from the universe. Get out of your feelings. Jay Barnes, I don't know if I've seen you before, but I'm more than likely going to throw you out. More than likely, you're going to get booted. No, see, they don't want to. He said, you're so right, real Christians should come out. Absolutely. It's a lot of Christians that do not believe that, dude. And quite honestly, if you really tap people on the shoulder and they weren't so afraid to say it, because that's what I'm saying. You don't believe that making people believe falseness will condition them to be afraid to ever say that they don't believe? Do you know how many Christians might have mental breakdown if they had to deal with the fact that something in that story is not true? Because they've been taught that and repeated since they were kids, and you don't believe that propaganda repeated over and 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 over again in your ear has any effect? It has a lot of weight. Hey, Mass Arms, I believe in God 100%. I don't even think I think not believing in God is, I don't understand how anybody could ever do that. That makes no sense to me. Wally, the Scott Bay said, bro, much love and respect. Thank you, man. Dude, we're going to say what we think around here, okay? Read my super chat that I insulted you on. How dare you drag the name of God? Forgive them. Forgive them. When they burn down your church, forgive them. When they steal from you, forgive them. When they just come over here, give me my 10% and forgive them. Dog, there's a bunch of motherfucking con men in the church. A bunch of con men in the church. A bunch. And you know how I know that? Because I was in the church. Let me tell you one of the scams the cats would run in churches. It's called the change scam. You'd be amazed how little of that change, the coins and the pennies that you put in that purse, how many of them just disappear between there and the bank. The cash makes it, but that change purse get kind of light. The change get a little light in between because it's cash. But I'm quite sure, y'all, none of that ever happens, right? These billionaires, these preachers run around looking like billionaires on private jets talking about, yes, Lord wants me to go save somebody in Nigeria. Hold on, man. You ain't taking that Lear jet to Nigeria. You flying to Houston and that shit. What you talking about? You can't fly all the way. You can't. Can you fly all the way? Can you fly all the way to Africa in that jet that they buying him? Or is he using that to just fly around the United States and maybe to South America? Yeah, ridiculous. But I'm sorry. Exactly. I was born at night, not last night, dog. That's what the dude that she accused me of, dragging God. As if Santa Claus is God. As if any of these people are God. On the roast boxing, man. Thank you. You know, I told you they don't like me, dog. They don't like me for a lot of different reasons. But I did say the dude, for real, you shouldn't. And you should question everything. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? Said the money is supposed to be for the congregation. How? Hey, Kitty Peeps, how can the money be from the for the congregation if it comes from the congregation? That money is for the church establishment and what they want to do with it. It ain't for because they're bringing the money in. If money was supposed to be for the congregation, you would tell the congregation just to pay the light bill, chip in on the light bill. You know what I'm saying? Chip in on the light bill. Hey, would you mind doing a GoFundMe page so we can get the stuff I'm a Baptist, so what is it? Every month we get the grape juice and the crackers and all that. Keith James said, what up, Fannon? Dumb Teofimo Lopez. Have you heard about the crap he's rooting for Brooke over Crawford after the congrats Bud gave him after his win? Of course he is. Teofimo Lopez is an asshole. And I'm going to enjoy watching Teofimo Lopez fight because he's an ass. So eventually, I'm going to see him get beat. Now, I think Teofimo Lopez is a good fighter, though. I really do. But, he's in Top Rank, and they're going to make that money. These guys want to make that money now. They're not going to want to take a lot of damage in their career. So they're just going to, so he's going to go along with the flow. He knows dang well, dog, that he need to fight Devin Haney. And And he ain't no bigger star. He ain't on Gervonta Davis's level. He knows that. But he's going to talk it because, you fake it till you make it there. And he faked it. Well, he ain't faking it because the guy can fight. There ain't no fake there. He's a legitimate fighter. But he is phony. You know what I mean? I saw a kid picture. I saw pictures of him as a little kid standing next to Shannon Briggs and these other fighters looking phony. Looking like he was already a star. You know what I mean? Like, make sure you get your pose right, Teofimo. Yeah, Teofimo can fight, though. Teofimo ain't no joke. I see Teofimo about to tap dance like company line. Yeah, absolutely is. Dude, look, man, don't expect nothing out of Top Rank. Don't expect anything out of Top Rank. Don't expect any good fights, any of that nonsense, dude. Focus Ball said, please, for the sake of logic, separate Christianity from the Bible. I renounced Christianity at 11 years old, studied science and mysticism, and I came back to the Bible. It's Black history, bad money. Dude, God is great. God is great. But don't y'all act like you understand what it is, because don't nobody understand it. That's what's so great about it. Nobody understands it. People act like they can sell you the idea that they understand it. But that's on y'all. I don't care. Y'all do what y'all want to do, but leave me alone, dog. Don't be acting like I'm the unreasonable one. You know what I mean? Like there's something unreasonable about me not believing with what I was told. Dude, doesn't make no sense. See, and you're not even asking me to believe it. See, I'm going to dedicate the rest of this chat to this shit. I'm sorry. You're not even asking me to believe it. I went to church. Dude, I can't tell you how much, man. And I kept hearing every time I would say to somebody, look, man, really, this doesn't make sense to me. And they will say it doesn't have to make sense. You're just supposed to believe it. Over and over. You're not supposed to believe it. You're supposed to memorize it. Because that's who is the most knowledgeable person, right? The person that has memorized the most verses. I'm Jason Hilton. I'm doing well today, man. How are you doing? You know what I mean? So I would go to church, and it wouldn't be the most knowledgeable person isn't the one that had any understanding of God, because you never talked about what God is, what God could be, right? We never talked about any of those things. We never understood. We never talked about the why, any of that. It was, can you memorize all of the books of the Bible and repeat them? And how fast can you repeat them? And how quickly can you find the Bible verse in your book, right? When they say Ecclesiastes 3:16, it's just a competition of how quick you can get there. I'm there, Pastor. Oh, now we're gonna go to the book of Mark. And everybody looking at you crazy because you got to look at the he's still looking at the what do you call it? The bibliography. He's still looking at the bibliography. He ain't getting there quick enough. And here's the other thing. Half of the people couldn't read. Half of the people flipping to that verse can't read. Definitely can't read some obscurely written stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can't read an indemnification clause, but y'all act like you can read a 3,000-page book. You know what I'm saying? Just get out of here, dog. Y'all can't even read. Literally, I know people that were borderline illiterate, sitting there holding the Bible, talking. You can't read. You telling me that this is what this says, but I never see your eyes running over the page. Nigga, you can't read. And do not tell me people ain't doing that. Do not tell me that there ain't functionally illiterate pastors holding books, talking like and acting like they know exactly the table of contents and how quickly you can get through the table of contents, man. See, a lot of church members memorize the scriptures, but don't let a word touch their hearts. Exactly. Like this one. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Man, I was in church forever. And when I got that, I was done. And there was nobody could tell me ever anymore. I was like, dude, you could teach all of this inside of 30 minutes. All of it. There was no need for me to be sitting there for 10 years. Okay. Every Sunday for 4 hours. It's a 30-minute conversation Tops. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. If you do that, that is not mistreating somebody. And that is all you need out of the whole thing. You can walk out, give them $5 and never come back if you do that. Because in all your ways, you're acknowledging him. Dude said, I did not learn that in church. I did. It's the golden rule. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And there's literally nothing that goes wrong. Nothing. If you follow that, it's the core of it. Just like this channel. I'm telling you, if you want to know somebody that's full of shit, it's somebody that cannot explain something in 30 seconds. If you say you know something, you should be able to explain that shit in 30 seconds. And I'm proving it on my Instagram with Fannon Responds. See, if y'all ain't noticed, if y'all have seen the series Fannon Responds, what I do on Fannon Responds is I take a whole video, something that I would normally do a whole video about, and I break it down and I get it done in under 30 seconds. Then I realized that I had a minute. So I'm like, oh, I got a whole minute? Oh, I can do it in a minute. So I allow myself to now I'll go maybe to a minute and allow there to be more. But really, I could do it in 15 seconds if I had to. I could break down my entire video in 15 seconds. Because that's how I start writing them. I start writing them with this, then I bring it here, then I bring it here, then I bring it here, then I bring it here. So I know what I'm talking about. Most of it is just me explaining it to you. But I can explain it. I can explain it like that. These people, and guess what Jesus was capable of doing? Explaining it just like that. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Bingo. But we could get into the Dead Sea Scrolls and all that other stuff, but it's not necessary because it's wisdom no matter where it came from. Because the Bible is stacked with it. Like stacked with it. But it's just you got to figure it out for yourself, dog. You can dang near take any verse in there and get something that is powerful for yourself. But the interpretation of you clowns, man, get the fuck out of my face, man. Y'all won't even admit Tyson Fury cheated. So, Mr. Man, dog, don't you ever doubt my love for God, okay? Don't ever doubt my love for God. I'm nothing without God. But you don't get to tell me what I think about it. Notice I didn't say him or her. You don't get to tell me what I think about it, okay? No more than you get to tell me what I think about boxing. No more than that. Yo. Fannon, I read the whole thing and I'm rereading the whole thing, making an audiobook. Yeah, man, I appreciate that. I'm not doing that. Because I've read other things. I'm good, man. I'm straight on that. I prayed to God for wisdom maybe about 15 years ago, and he drugged me through the worst times of my life. But through the worst times of my life, I gained wisdom. And I asked God for that, and God gave it to me. And it was a painful, fucking terrible experience. And you know what they say. Be careful. They say, above all things, get ye wisdom. But there is something, if you ask God for wisdom, be careful when you ask. And I knew that when I said it, when I prayed, please, because I was lost. But I ain't lost no more. Not in that regard. You know what I mean? Now I'm working. The book of Thomas, the book of Stephen, and all that stuff that came afterwards, dog, that's just stuff off the Council of Nicaea. And that's just rewriting and trying to get people's head around how they're going to convince people to do what they want them to do. Dude, writing is trying to convince you to do things. God does not have to be in writing. The idea that you need a book for God is just ridiculous. You should be able to see God in a plant because he's everywhere and everything. Isn't that what they say? Valdetrist crying. Of course, man. I'm crying, of course. But anyway, like I said, man, y'all are some bums. I can talk about God and still keep 650 in here. Okay? Y'all some bums. I'm not the bum. But I appreciate it. I love y'all so much for everything y'all do for the channel, including you trolls. However, what is this big baby stuff? This crying big baby? Is this a new troll thing? Look at these guys right here. Look at this. We got a new we've got a new thing, right? Now watch this. See, Valdatris says crying. I'm not even talking about anything to do. There's no reason he should say that I'm crying right now. None. None. But he's here saying it. Stop waffling thumb. I don't know what that is, man. Yeah, look at their names. They're just, I mean, they're just, see, that's how fake Tyson Fury and these guys are. But yet we're here all the time. But we're here. You need to wipe your chin. Did that get it? Did that get it? Cornball. I heard William Shakespeare wrote the Bible. Sir Francis Bacon. Sir Francis Bacon. That's the thing. That is Sir Francis Bacon. It's not. William Shakespeare is probably a lot of different people, but the one that is the most significant is the guy's name. I just lost it that quick. Sir William Baker. Sir William Bacon. Sir William Bacon. That's Shakespeare. Sir Francis Bacon. Thank you. Sir Francis Bacon. Yeah. That's him. Sir Francis Bacon. That's the guy. That's Shakespeare. Dude, they all are, man. It's just, look, all of that prosecution stuff and all that, man, look. They hide the physics. They hide the physics. That's what I believe. But anyway, it is what it is. Everyone should have their own personal relationship with God, but most people put faith in their pastor. Yeah, dude, see, I can't believe pastors. I grew up with pastors. I scammed with pastors. So it's like, dude, there's this one dude. I'm not going to say his name is, right? But, dude, I know this dude. Like, I know you. And we would be in church, and a lot of these guys now are pastors. I mean, a lot of these guys that I knew were pastors. And some of them are really good guys that I know do not believe what the fuck they're saying. And there's some guys that are some scumbags that I know do not believe the shit coming out of their mouths. And then there's some that really do believe it. And they just amaze me. Because it's like you're so, like, you begin and end with your own dogma. Like, it's a dogma. A dogma. Because I'm from a conservative black Baptist church. You know, uppity Negroes that think they got out of the city and now they're somewhere special away from them Negroes in the city. That type of thing. He said, God is great. Yeah, God is great. Absolutely. All day, every day. Without a doubt. Without a doubt. And anybody said anything different, something wrong with them, in my opinion. Like, but then again, you just could have different ideas. So, like, for me, there's a guy that I talked to that swore he was an atheist. He's like, I'm an atheist. And I keep hearing him saying it. And I'm like, what do you mean you're an atheist? Are you an atheist or an atheist? Like, do you believe there is no God at all? Or do you just not believe in the theories of God that are put in front of you? So, like, if you don't believe in the theories that they give to you to support that, that makes sense because the shit that they're saying don't make no sense. That's just logic, not to believe something that doesn't make sense to you. But just because it doesn't make sense to you and somebody's giving you a wrong explanation doesn't mean that there isn't something that's very real about that. And the fact that you are created, the fact that you look up into the sky and the seasons change and all these things happen to you on a regular basis, it is absolutely ridiculous to have to rely upon their fairy tales because what's happening in reality is so much more magical. It's like you have to take your eyes off of the TV screen. You've got to take your eyes off their fantasies and see the real magic that takes place right in front of you every day. There's real magic that takes place in front of you every day. The birth of a child. How much more magical can you be when somebody is born from a womb, right? Born from a womb after 3 months, after 3 cycles of 3 months, right? Which is 9 months, not 3 days. 9 months, right? Then you have birth, right? So it went into there's all kind of different ways that you can make sense for things. So is Fury a drug cheat? He's been a drug cheat for a long time. He tested positive for performance-enhancing drugs years ago. And you know that's the case. Oh, go to the ops channel to be that stupid and petty. Yeah, the ops, see, that's why we can separate ourselves every once in a while from these dudes, because don't get it confused. This ain't that type of conversation, man. When I was younger, I thought I was an atheist, but the more I learned about the sciences, God was easier to believe in, much easier to believe in. Much easier to believe in. The more knowledgeable you become, the harder it is to believe what they say. And the more you study, the more easy it is for you to know that what they say is really true. But they just don't have they just don't have a logical explanation for why it's true. But yet the birth and the death of the cycles of the seasons and all of that makes complete sense why people would visualize that like that. But you can't be stuck in a Eurocentric mindset, and be able to see it at the same time. Because the way we view the world is the view of people that enslaved you. And that's just kind of what it is. Sorry about that, man. I went way too off of that. Atheism is an intellectual cop-out. It is. I believe that to be true. But look, I'm out of here. Much love to everybody in the chat, everybody in the super chat. We will be back tomorrow cooking people. I'm sorry we got off the topic a little bit, went into some other thing. Hey, to the dude that I went off about that, dog, seriously, I mean, dog, I can like you guys, man, but don't ever do that. I mean, if you trust me on boxing, dog, trust me that I have some enough sense to know that there's a God responsible for things, okay? I have that much sense, okay? Some people other people might not have that much sense, but dog, I that much has gotten through to me, okay? I'm not that obstinate. You know what I mean? But anyway, it is what it is. And with that, I'm out. Peace.